All I wanted to be was a painter. And so I studied painting at the Boston Museum School and the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts. While I was at the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts, I mostly painted at where I lived, but I also had a small cubicle in a big, large studio in the school. I was in this cubicle one night painting a garden at night, mostly black with some leaves green coming out. And I was sitting looking at this painting, and from the painting I heard a wind, and then I saw the green start to move. And I said, "Oh, a moving painting."
Hey everybody, welcome back. Greg and Ryan here, and we're taking another deep dive look into Twin Peaks: The Return. In many ways, The Return seems to be Lynch reflecting on his entire career. For this video, we want to take a look at some of the reoccurring themes, subjects, and images that have played out so far in Twin Peaks: The Return.
Before we do that, make sure to subscribe to the Universe channel to stay up to date on all of the latest stuff, a lot of the good TV that we're doing. We've got Rick and Morty just started, Game of Thrones, Preacher, and of course, Twin Peaks. As a quick note before we get started, this is for everybody who has seen up through part 12 of The Return. So spoilers ahead if you're not caught up, and if you are, also bear in mind that we still don't have the benefit of having seen the last 6 episodes of the season. So first up, what I think actually kind of goes sort of hand in hand with all of the rest of the themes that we're going to bring up is how much Lynch uses echoes, mirrors, doppelgangers throughout all of his work. Broadly speaking, Lynch likes to play in similarities. There are few Lynch works that you could reasonably claim don't reference or echo in some way another Lynch work. Furthermore, within each individual work, you'll find mirrored places and people or doppelgangers.
Doppelganger!
Not just in Twin Peaks, but across decades of multiple films and TV shows, Lynch even casts and recasts actors sometimes to maintain continuity. Part of the reason Lynch does this is because he continuously revisits the same themes. These echoes, mirrors, or doppelgangers don't necessarily suppose a common world that they take place in so much as a continued meditation on ideas from the world that we take place in. This isn't to say that the theories that suggest that like Twin Peaks and Mulholland Drive take place in the same universe aren't valid or interesting, but I think Lynch is mainly, using the same colors to paint similar ideas, and using the same actors, using the same settings and locations, and often the same music with Badalamenti is more a way of expressing the sameness of what he's going over than to say that they take place in the same world.
Listen to me. Listen to me. There's something in that box. And if that something is what I saw in my dream, we can't kill him.
Moving on, let's look into dreams now. Now, Lynch's work is said to reflect a part of his soul, and dreams are said to be the subconscious trying to work itself out. And Lynch once said, "Waking dreams are ones that are important, the ones that come when I'm quietly sitting in a chair, gently letting my mind wander. When you sleep, you don't control your dreams. I like to dive into a dream world that I've made or discovered, a world I choose." The dreamscape is a major theme in Twin Peaks.
And a dream. We live inside a dream.
In The Return, many characters have experienced dreams that would soon hearken the truth, as seen in Lynch's other works such as Mulholland Drive.
I had a dream about this place.
Oh boy.
Now in The Return, we've only seen dreams play out slightly, but I have a feeling they're going to play a major role in the final 6 episodes, possibly.
Right, we haven't necessarily spent much time in a dream world, but a lot of characters have talked about the dreams they've had.
Yes.
Clear!
Now, one of my favorite genres of filmmaking is body horror. Lynch is fascinated with the graphic generation or destruction of the physical body. Much of his work deals with decay, disease, mutation, or mutilation in some form.
That's weird.
Fun fact, Lynch became a vegetarian after Eraserhead. I wonder why.
Can't imagine. Coming off of dreams and metamorphosis, which in Lynch films can be very horrifying, you can see that Lynch also sees the world as filled with elements of technology, evil, and distraction that cause anxiety and suffering, which lead to violence. In particular, violence against women. Men dominating, torturing, raping, and murdering women is everywhere in Lynch movies and TV. It is relentlessly brutal, exacting, and stark. Lynch does not advocate or approve of violence against women. In fact, the opposite is true. One of the core missions of the David Lynch Foundation is to raise awareness and support women and children who are victims of abuse. That said, even though he does not depict this abuse positively, he does not completely address the complexities of abuse by strictly sensationalizing its violence with a thesis that, at times, subverts personal responsibility. Women in The Return are mostly victims without agency, preyed upon by or even bound to men who fit Lynch's model of the confused or corrupted and lost masculine being. Archetypes echoed throughout his catalog. Stephen and Becky, Mr. C and Daria, Phyllis Hastings or Chantel, or Richard with Sylvia Horne, Miriam Sullivan, and whoever that girl was at the Roadhouse. Beyond them are the mutilation of Ruth Davenport, Ike the Spike's horrific stabbing of Lorraine, and the savage murder of Tracy in the New York penthouse. I think it's important to add here that all of this violence is not in a vacuum. It's woven into this rich tapestry of corruption and horror that go with all of the other themes that we've talked about.
I've known about this affair. I've known about this affair all along.
The last big thread in this tapestry, which often goes hand in hand with the physical and psychological violence, is, well, infidelity, with a few cases of non-monogamy.
Good Lord, everybody is sleeping with somebody else in David Lynch tales.
And The Return is no exception.
We've got Stephen cheating on Becky with Gersten Hayward, Dougie Jones, the real Dougie Jones, with Jade.
They'd give 2 rides.
I'll bet she did.
Bill Hastings was cheating on Phyllis Hastings with Ruth Davenport. Phyllis Hastings was cheating on Bill with Bill's lawyer and possibly Mr. C. Chantel has a thing on the side with Mr. C away from Hutch. Beverly Page may be getting involved with Ben Horne. Audrey Horne has been f***ing Billy while married to Charlie, who may be seeing Tina, for all we know.
Okay, call the bitch, see what she knows.
And most recently, Mary might be seeing Clark behind Angela's back, whoever the f*** they are. Now, that seems like a lot, but this is Twin Peaks, and fans of the original series know just how tangled relationships can get.
Yeah, and here are some of the canoodlings from 25 years ago that are still relevant today.
Shelley Johnson cheated on Leo Johnson with Bobby Briggs, who was cheating on Laura Palmer. Laura Palmer cheated on Bobby with James Hurley. That reminds me, where's James been? You could also make the case that Laura Palmer cheated on Bobby and James with most of... Meanwhile, Leland Palmer / Bob cheated on Sarah Palmer with Teresa Banks, and of course, his daughter. Speaking of daughters, Ben Horne almost cheated on Sylvia Horne with Audrey, but that's just the tip of the Ben Horne iceberg. Nice old Ben Horne, who also had an affair with Catherine Martell. She was cheating on Pete, who famously discovered Laura's body.
She's dead. Wrapped in plastic.
He had an affair with Eileen Hayward, resulting in Donna Hayward, and slept with pretty much the rest of... Norma Jennings, owner of the R&R who's always doing paperwork, cheated on Hank Jennings with Big Ed Hurley, who was cheating on his wife, Nadine Hurley, who had a relationship with Bobby's buddy, Mike, after her accident.
Unbelievable.
Sheriff Frank Truman's brother, Sheriff Harry S. Truman, had an affair with Josie Packard. And finally, the most important affair of all, Lucy Brennan, although technically not cheating on Deputy Andy Brennan at the time, had an affair with Dick Tremaine, who may very well be the biological father to... Man, I really want to see Wally Brando again.
I think that one scene was good enough.
Okay, those are some of the major themes in Twin Peaks: The Return that also come from Twin Peaks and other films and work by David Lynch.
Yeah, there's so many more. We got art and cinema, music. Let us know what your favorites are in the comment section below, and you can hit us up on Twitter too. All right, guys. Bye-bye.